It's the Tonya Bird Show, don't you know? Like and share, let's make it. It's the Tonya Bird Show, don't you know? Like and share, let's make it glow. Flint City News, we bring the heat. When we fight, we beat defeat. I won't give up, I won't stand down. This city's heart will never drown. Together we rise, we've got the power. In unity we find our hour. The residents deserve much more. Let's break these chains, open the door. Fight is ours, victory inside. Flint City strong, we'll make it right.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being patient. We did have some technical difficulty. So before we get started, I want y'all to click like, share some more, and subscribe. And as Sheena Beckton always states, our moderator, hit that notification bell. Hit the notification bell. So share this out. Well, I want to say first thank you to producer Jay. We are on a new platform, so I'm used to seeing this on the right side. It's on the left side. I can see some of y'all. I can. I don't know how to get back down to it, y'all. I can see this is going. But we have two special guests that are on here today. But let me say first, thank you to my moderators, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean, because they are always monitoring the chats and making sure we on task and kicking out those trolls when it's time to go. And to producer Jay, how you doing? Y'all, look, we're much more excited in his monotone today. Okay, we got a lot going on. So I want to say special thanks for the special guests who are here. We have got of St. Mark's Baptist Church, Pastor Kevin Thompson and Carol McIntosh, who was formerly on the Flint School Board and spent several years on the Flint Ethics and Accountability Board. And so I want to say thank you to my special guest this Sunday afternoon before the Detroit Lions come on for sharing y'all time with me. How y'all doing? Pastor Thompson, you go, then Carol. How y'all doing? You're muted.
I mean, thanks for having us. I'm doing
Good.
great. And you-
Carol, how are you doing? You're muted.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. So, we're on this side of life. So, thank God. Right.
Y'all so positive. Good. So we're going to start. Pastor Thompson,
Yes.
you were recently at the church on August 30th had a fire, which caused extensive damage to your entire church. All of it was not burned or scorched, but the entire church facility gym did receive smoke damage, billowing dark smoke and soot. Um, so you're having an event tomorrow. So can you tell? We're going to play the video, but tell us about your event. So set up the video for us and tell us about your event.
Yes, this event that we're having, St. Mark Baptist Church of Flint and St. Mark Community Outreach, is going to be held at Calvary Church, Calvary United Methodist Church at 2 or 2111 Flushing Road, Flint, Michigan. And we're coming together. Bishop Larry D. Trotter wanted to come and he wanted to encourage us and have a restoration service, somewhat of a benefit service, that the community can come together, each one reach one. He wants everybody to be here so we can all fellowship. Flint is a very special place to him, as he always preach about. And so we just want to come together as the body of Christ, and bring your neighbors, your friends, your co-workers, and you don't have to be dressed up, dressed down. come with your nurse uniform on, whatever uniform you have on, and then we'll be having food afterwards. We will be having a dinner. So yes,
So there will be Bishop Trotter will be speaking, and
yeah,
then food will be served. So
mhm,
basically, bringing the community together, um, bringing the community together because I know on that day
mhm,
um, that was a lot. You know,
yeah,
August 30th when I got the call, you told me, and Mother Napier that I mean, it's something that you don't forget. It's one of those things you remember what time, what you were doing,
yeah.
because it was a traumatic event.
Very traumatic event. We had been there ever since 2 something in the morning, and so when you came on the scene, you put us on live, and people came out. I just want to say thank you to the community because everybody. I can't start naming any names, but everybody, every denomination, um, sororities, fraternities, everybody came out to be with St. Mark Community Outreach and St. Mark Church during this time. Yes, it was devastating, and it was a thousand things that was going on through my mind, but I had this support of you and the support of some of our community activists and some of our pastors came out and some other politicians, elected officials came out, and I was appreciative to that. And it was a devastating day, but it seems as though there's some light at the end of the tunnel. We have been burned, but not consumed. So we have all the community is coming together, and we're going to have a good time with Albert Strickland and Chosen. And we also have a special soloist or artist that's going to be coming, in which that's a surprise. But Bishop Larry D. Trotter will be here. Just want to continue to tell the community, thank you, Flint. We are strong. We are strong, and we have come together to help one another. I want to also say thank you, or I want to say my prayers are going out also to the People's Church of Flint, Michigan, downtown, in the heart of our downtown city. I want to say a prayer also to the Mormons Church, um, Church of Latter-day Saints. Excuse me. Yes, the Church of. We want to continue to pray for that church in blank because that was very very traumatic and so we all just need prayer because there's a attack on our household of worship.
Yes.
Hmm.
I agree. So, Producer Jay, there is a video that was made. It's a very good video because the video was made after. So, even though you were, um, the church was firebound, there was fire that was set, you still have been serving the community, still out there, making sure that in the community people don't go hungry. Um,
Hmm.
Producer Jay, can you share that video, please? So when he got it up, then we'll stop talking. So Carol, we're going to talk about some things with you because it's going to be interesting. But we yours is going to be a little spicy, so we want to get past the Thompson on and on. And while y'all on there, we need y'all to click like, share, and subscribe. Let's get those viewers up. And thank y'all for the purple hearts that I see. Thank you for the purple hearts that are in there. This is not a normal time. I usually, you know, lately it's been on at nighttime. And so I need y'all to click like and share. Share this out and send that algorithm and hit that like button. Hit that like button. And so, okay, let's play it.
We can start putting the boxes on the table. Let's go.
Here at St. Mark, this historical church has always been an outreach church that reached out to the people.
They're all about helping the community.
They are a pillar in the community.
In order for you to be blessed, you have to help someone else. We don't believe in a handout, we believe in a hand up. Okay, we got to go through this and open them up, please.
So today we have St. Mark doing their food distribution.
We're setting up for the food drive. It's nutritional food, lots of meat, lots of potatoes, lots of squash and vegetables. It's important because the cost of food is so high.
We're here to help one another
How you doing today?
because together we can make a difference.
You're welcome.
They have been going through some things here lately.
Someone threw a firebomb inside of our classrooms
Someone set fire to the church.
and tried to burn the building down.
We were violated.
Basically, this is the room where the fire started. Everything was totally burned, as you can see. We don't understand why someone would do something like this. Right now, we're not able to allow anybody in the building for probably another couple of weeks until we get all the smoke damage and smells and everything out.
The setback was a setup for a comeback.
You slowed us down, but you can't stop us.
That was a very nice video. It was very nice. And I know it's probably hard for you to watch, but I mean, you had a smile on your face, even though that day it was a lot going on. So tell us about Bishop Trotter, because tomorrow is to bring the community together, to bring those in inviting everyone, including the members of the Church of Latter-day Saints of Grand Blanc, also the People's Church with Reverend Matthew Hogue Smith, and then every church that has not been affected with some type of violence, violent threats, or fire. You know, we're inviting everyone to come to celebrate, to listen, to give you to fellowship at it'll be at Calvary Church at 2111 Calvary Church. It is on 2111 Flushing Road. It is in the beautiful Sixth Ward, where we welcome people into our ward. We welcome you. And we roll out the mat for you. And you will be at the Calvary United Methodist Church, 2111 Flushing Road. I tell people it's in between DuPont and DuPont and Chevrolet. It's a big brick church. People probably ride by it and don't even, but it's a huge brick church. Been there for over 100 years. So it'll be at the St. Mark St. Mark Church of Flint Restoration Service will be held at Calvary United Methodist Church of Flint, 2111 Flushing Road, Flint, Michigan, with the Bishop Larry Trotter. The time is 6:30, and asking that you come as you are. Just come in fellowship. Let us love on each other. Let us love on each other. Pastor Thompson.
Yes, it's a time of fellowship. It's a time of restoration. It's a time of praise. So we ask that you bring your praise shoes, bring your tambourine. My mother, she left her tambourine home from church. She was complaining about it, so she's gonna bring both of her tambourines just in case someone else need a tambourine. We are going to dance. We're going to rejoice. We're going to have a good time. We're going to eat. We're going to fellowship. Pastors come together and love on each other. This is a time that we can come together. I do want to say thank you to St. Luke Church, or St. Luke New Life Center, and where we've been worshiping, our temporary home. But it looks like things are coming together where we're going to be getting ready to go home soon. And so let's look for that celebration as well. But I just want to thank you personally. I want to thank you, Councilwoman Tonya Burns, for inviting us to the Sixth Ward. We're going to be in the Sixth Ward. It's also the home of Hasselbring senior citizens and also the House of Esther. Isn't it
Yes.
amazing that we all can fellowship, all can worship in one place as one body in Christ? It's amazing. So we're going to have a good time. I'm excited about it. Bishop will be in tonight. And so we're going to fellowship with him. We're going to fellowship with him tomorrow. He's going to be bringing a powerful word, and Albert Strickland and Chosen. And we also have a special guest soloist. Thank you, Councilwoman Burns. Thank you, Miss
So
Carol.
hold on, I
Thank you,
do want to
Producer
state
Jay.
this because we have got um, Hasselbrink, Hasselbrink, which was located, which is our senior center, which they have done such a great service to our community. Underneath the leadership of the director Beverly Lewis, she is now over at Calvary in the Sixth Ward
Right.
because she was. The people have been temporarily moved out. God can put them on solid ground,
Oh,
and
yes.
so she is over there. She has reached out and been. Matter of fact, she showed up and
Yes.
she called Pastor Timmons because Pastor Timmons, um, God worked things out sometime in ways that
Yes.
we just don't know.
Mhm.
And Beverly showed up and she was so overwhelmed
Mhm.
because I think it triggered something for her when they had to leave the building on Home Street. Like, where are we gonna go? And she had a court battle, and all of y'all went through that with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all went through that with us, and God put it upon God worked it out. What to say? He'll work it out.
We'll work it out.
And I remember Pastor Timmons called and said to me, I need, we're thinking about selling the church. And we need to find we need to find someone who might want to buy it. So I think I know an investor. Then I called the investor, and then it wasn't even 10 minutes later. I called Beverly. I said, "Look, what do you think about moving over to? It'll be perfect for the seniors." I said because it's got a half of a gym in there. It's got a rec area. It's got a gigantic kitchen. It's got all these areas, and I said, I think that would be great. And she was like, I'd never been in there.
Why can't I hear?
We can hear you, Carol. We hear you. Can you hear us? Is your volume up? Okay, so we're gonna let her. Producer Jay, you gotta work on that. So bringing everyone together. House of Esther was removed. They were evicted by the city.
Mhm.
Um, so was Hasselbrink Senior Center was evicted by the city. You were temporarily displaced by a fire that was meant to completely burn down the building, and it did not. And you are temporarily everybody coming together. It's like something that was made for bad is being made for good, making just building relationships,
Mhm.
and they're like like a family now.
Family.
You know, it's a family, and everybody looking out for each other, making sure everybody okay. And Beverly came over to make sure, and she was crying. She was overwhelmed because
Mhm.
it triggered her, And I just want to say I thank you because we're using her facility at Hasselbrink to feed everyone that part of the church. So I just, I'm thankful that God is working through people and through this community to bring it together because everyone should, I believe in an inclusive community, and we are making and building an inclusive community. So
Right.
anything you want to say, Pastor Thompson?
Yes, I'll see everybody tomorrow. All roads lead to Calvary United Methodist Church, 2111 Flushing Road at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. Bishop Larry D. Trotter, Albert Strickland and Chosen, and all of the community of Flint, please come out. Let's fellowship. Let's have fun together, and let's just enjoy each other company. Together like we did before, back in the day, where we all took care of each other. I think this is where we start. And so I want it to be contagious. I'm grateful to the whole entire city, and keep us in your prayers as we.
Well, make sure everyone, if you can show up, if you're available, you can bring your children, bring your granny, bring your auntie, bring them and share in this and bringing the community together. It's going to be tomorrow, Monday, tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at Calvary United Methodist Church of Flint at 2111 Flushing Road. We're going to have the Bishop Larry Trotter there. We're going to have the Chosen will be there. The Albert Strickland and Chosen will be there. So they're not gonna be singing, they're gonna be singing. They're gonna be singing, y'all. So you'll be up on your feet. Don't be wearing them real tall heels. You have to kick them babies off. But you're gonna have to look, show up, show up. So it'll be tomorrow, 6:30 at 2111 Flushing Road, asking everyone to show up. And look, they're gonna feed you. And the food is going to be great.
I can't hear shit.
Uh, you cussing,
What
we
is
can hear that.
going on?
Carol. Okay. Producer Jay, can you inbox her work? Our bad. Okay. Carol, can you hear now? So you can drop Pastor Thompson down because his screen has went black. Okay. Um, Carol, can you hear? Maybe she need to go back out and come back in.
Can y'all hear me? I can't hear y'all. I don't know why.
Go out and come back in. Go out, and come back in. Yeah, I'm looking like, let me text it to her. Okay. So listen. So Carol's area. Did she freeze, Producer Jay? Okay. 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 Let's look. So we know that broadband and internet is challenging in the city of Flint. It is, look, everybody's like, go out and come back in. Thank y'all. Look, let me see if I can go back in and I can say while she's figuring out, because I didn't get a chance to welcome everybody for coming in. So let me go back down. So Marcia Talbert, thank you. Henrietta, good afternoon. Gutta Black, Rhonda Atkins, Avis Hopkins, Jared D. Breckenridge, Yvette Bailey, Eddie Gray, JWC in the house, Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, Melissa Zaremski, Avis Hopkins, JP6, and Tasha Lynn. We got Auntie M. We got Michael Clack. What's up, Clack? We got Jade Williams. Is she? You can hear now? Okay, Jasmine M. I'm going down the list. I didn't get time to thank you. I didn't have a in here. But I need y'all to click like and share and hit that like button to boost off the algorithm. Christopher Sims, Yolanda Gentry, hey girl, Avis Hopkins, Javon Ellis, look, Reed Johnson. Look, I'm trying to go back through all of BB Madden. I didn't know she was in here. Hey, BB Madden. And I ain't going. You know, I just like to say that, y'all. So Rob Bass. Hey, Rob R. Murphy. Listen, I think I didn't cut up. Now, if I didn't catch you on the YouTube's, the Facebook side, hey, Michelle Pfeiffer, R. Murphy. Listen, Bishop T. Priestley. Look, y'all, look, I'm doing good today. So listen. So I got to go to the other, but we're going to get started. I don't know. We're using a new program. You know, you can't try new things on me like that usually. Aaliyah's still standing strong. Demetra Cooley Payton. Who else? Michelle Pfeiffer. Teresa Ness. Teresa, my deepest condolences to your family and to your daughter my deepest condolences. She had a great
Yeah.
loss. Meat Freaks Barbecue. Sonia look, I'm gonna mess up your last name. Sonia or Sonia. How yeah, because we Deborah Luna. I don't want to mess up nobody last name. Deborah, I got the Midwest. I hadn't seen that the Midwest Dragon. So listen, okay, so we're gonna get started. So we're gonna and then I'll go through Big Jen's Beans. I like that name. So listen, so we're gonna get started. So it's been a lot going on in the news, and some of the things before we get into Carol, because Carol has got some things she really want to talk about that have been hot. And I think we're gonna skip over the state. You know, people don't want you to stay woke, and Marjorie Taylor Greene acting like she a Democrat now. Don't y'all trust her? Do not trust bleach blonde. That just
Bad Bill Butch Biden.
right, because she sounded like a Democrat denouncing the Republican Party. Don't y'all trust her? She don't want to give up that seat. Now health insurance is important to her.
Right.
I'm
That's
like,
right.
I'm like, yeah, okay, Marjorie. We see you. We haven't forgotten. It's girl, it's on video what you done did. So, but we're gonna get into a couple things. So, some of the things which have been a hot topic. Did I say gutter black too? Um, we want to get into, and producer Jay, I had sent to you some of the things that Carol ran a race, and she was actually lives in the first ward. Been there.
He was actually the winner.
Yeah, actually, you were, because we now know, according to him, on 9 PPOs, that he states that he is stating that he lived at the address that is a Mount Morris Township address. 9 PPOs. We also know that he these addresses aren't matching up. They're just not matching up. We also know that a Lapeer County man who did not stay where he stayed was charged with the felony. I believe, but was he removed? But he's being charged.
Yeah.
They asked for a special prosecutor. He didn't live where he said he lived. Leon is an imposter of the first ward. He should not be allowed to be voting, making any decisions on anything, because he put the address out there. Then it came to find out that a person stayed there who's a registered sex offender. Producer Jay, I don't know if you have that. We have blacked out some of the stuff. If you can put that up, and I'll continue to talk. I didn't even. You can put that up, but she is a registered sex offender. Furthermore, he stated in court documents as late as 2 weeks ago that he lives at the address on Mott Street. You can't do both. So that address, that lady has had to comply with the Michigan Department Parole Board, and she's been in compliance. Police went there a couple times, and police stated, she told the police, no one lives here but her and her dog. I was told that it's alleged Leon, I don't know if it's alleged or not, I live on Berkeley because he was taking pictures of my house. So, and had them on his computer. He is a stalker since 2021. I have said I was not even elected. That he is tethered to a house on Berkeley. I don't know if he is or isn't, but they said he's tethered to Berkeley. Why wouldn't you be tethered to Mott Street? If that was your address and you lived there, he put on the paperwork that even though, yes, there's a sex offender that is there, the sex offender does not come in contact. It was number 11 on his thing. He states, defendant admits that is true. He has always maintained his residence on Mott Avenue. Defendant admits as true that this is also the residence of a registered sex offender. Yes, leave that up there, please, as I'm reading that. Of a registered sex offender. However, the minor child and the registered sex offender have never made any contact. Defendant will stipulate that the minor child should never be in the presence of a registered sex offender. I'm pretty sure his attorneys didn't read it, and I don't think that the judge read that. But if you live on Mott Street, why are you tethered to Berkeley. You are a public official. I mean, he was charged with a felony with intent to um, less than murder, but with strangulation, with domestic violence, and a misdemeanor domestic violence. So this is the sex offender who actually lives at the address, who doesn't want any trouble, but he keeps saying he lives at this address. So you can't live at this address with her. She can't be around children. She can't. So with these things coming to light, Carol, and he states that which he cannot be living there. She's complied every month. The last time she was in compliance was October the 1st, which means, Leon, El Alamein, your papers are getting subpoenaed, FOIA for hers. Step down. You should have never ran. You lied to get in that seat. Every
That's what
month,
she means.
right? So I'm gonna let you, because I mean this is just, I mean, it's getting subpoenaed. You going to court. You're going to court. And Carol, who spent money on a campaign, who,
And miss money,
right? So
running, knocking doors, hustling.
So, Kara, what do you think about this? Knowing now that this has come out, he has stated that he is at he's at the Mott Street, and the sex offender lives there, and
Okay.
he's tethered to Berkeley Street, is what I'm told.
Okay. Here's so many things wrong with this story. Okay. Number one, when he ran during the election, we knew he lived on Sherman. Okay, and we reported that to the authorities, which is the address that he's always filed his PPOs in, right? From way back even before 2020. I think he had what 2018 or 19. He had some PPOs or whatever. Whatever the case may be, on these documents, he's always
He's got
maintained this.
9 of them, all
Now
9.
his nine have this Sherman Street address on it. So when in your life did you ever live on the on the Mott Street address? When did you live there? Because you've been following these PPOs for years, and you've never one time used that Mott address on any of these PPOs. Number two, two people on tether can't be tethered to the same address.
Oh, what you
Number
say? What you say?
two, two
Two
people
people.
on tether cannot be tethered to the same address. One, because you are automatically in a violation. You're not supposed to be around any criminals when you're being monitored, right? So if we're both on teller together, then we're both basically criminal. Anytime you come in contact with the police when you're on tether, you even if you're riding in the car with somebody when you're on probation, and you come in contact with the police, you have to tell your probation officer. So when this girl is getting these visits from her probation officer, has he reported that since he's been in the home, a probation officer has been there? I doubt it. This is the next problem with this story. I don't care if they don't be in the same room. If you are a sex offender, you cannot be in so many feet of a child. When you have a child sex offense, especially, they're in the same house under the same roof. It is no way you will ever watch anyone in your home 24/7. Your kids, your dog, your whoever, if they can get around, by even when people are immobile, you come in, they in their wheelchair, you come in, they knocked everything off the table. You cannot watch a person in your home 24/7. Okay, so that's a hole in this story. You're endangering your child, or either this person is in violation of their probation. Okay. Okay. And that means they should have never given him custody of a child to an address that is also the address of a known sex offender. Why is our judicial system working so hard for this criminal? Okay, and
And
I'm
that's
not done.
the question.
So,
Let
so
me
well, let me
let me
finish.
finish.
Let me finish. And on top of that, so now you got this lady in violation of her parole because she's around a child. You got him in violation because he's around another person that's on a tether. Then you got the child in danger because you're willfully putting this child around a known sex offender. Okay. And you can't watch somebody. And even if you can watch them 24/7, the law say they can't be under the same roof. I don't care if you is the councilman. Then to add insult to injury, Put the cherry on the top. Okay? Put some sprinkles on a pile of mess and call it chocolate birthday cake. They done paroled this clown to a known drug house where he was picked up at and caught his case and was sent to prison. Okay? Where people get shot around this house, in front of this house. This is a high traffic house. This is where he got paroled to. And guess what else?
What?
It ain't in the first ward. So
It's not.
if you do not live in your ward at any time, if you have to move, if you have to change your residency, you have to step down if you don't live in that ward. There is no way at 8 o'clock you got to be in the house every night, but you live in the first ward. See, it's just so many problems with this. And that's why I said this man is being protected by a criminal judicial system that is actively committing crimes. Okay? This man, why would they protect this criminal? He's not educated. He's not from a wealthy family. He's not well connected because he's committing crimes for some of these people who can't do their own dirt. That's the only way they let a poor, uneducated person slide on committing crimes. You committing them for somebody who don't want no dirt on their hands. Then you get excused. Now, that's just with his probation and just that's just the many knots in his story just with this probation and the new situation. This is not even to speak on his domestic violence charge, because if you are a violent offender, should you even have custody of a child? And then to go to show he unfit, you got your son around a sexual predator talking about he stay in the other room, they don't come in contact. That's poor judgment as a parent. Okay. Anytime you know somebody's a sex offender, but you gonna take that child from their mama who is not a sex offender and move them under the roof with a sex offender. This man is that hateful, that demonic, okay, that he is willing to hurt his child's mother and take this child from his mother, who probably really, really loves him so much, is why he's doing this, right? Put this child around a known sex offender, or B, raise this child in a drug den. Which one is it?
So you mentioned, and um, this ties to it. So we talk about parenting. So we know that Shawnetta Wakes did the interview, and it was an
Yeah.
interview done with her son, and they covered his face up to protect him. The son was a victim of Leon L. Alamine as he entered the home with a Draco gun. So he is traumatized
Wait. Nakia,
children.
wait.
Nakia
Nakia.
Way, Nakia. They on her paperwork she uses, black folks, we got nicknames. On her
Okay, so
paperwork,
she's
he
Shanetta.
filed he filed a
Okay.
PPO against her. And on the PPO against her, um, he used the same address that he used against me, where he put I was a known alcoholic and a known cocaine abuser.
Nobody knows it but him.
Right. Like
And why would he be
he's a
privy to
liar.
such private
He's a
information?
terrible liar, habitual, pathological, chronic liar. He is a liar,
Mm,
habitual offender, habitual liar. He lies. I'm not on drugs.
wait.
I didn't have to pass a drug test for the past 30 years and passed every single one. I got no OUIs, DUIs, no disorderly public intoxication, none of that. But I want to get back to the child, because the two little boys that were there when he entered the home drilled out the locks. The one
While they in
urinated
there,
himself. Exactly. And it's a 911 recording of it. And we have the recording. I don't have it with me here today, but the attorney does. Thank you. Thank you. The attorney does have it. And so, um, yeah. Carol, can you talk about that interview?
yeah, I can actually. It was quite traumatic. It was quite traumatic. And the reason we ended up putting this masking over this young boy's face is because I had a sidebar conversation with him before he went on, and he expressed that he didn't feel comfortable showing his face and that he was afraid. and that he wanted the person that did this to him to be held responsible. But this little boy expressed the fact that he was concerned about his future safety. This little boy expressed the fact that he had to speak to a professional behind this because he's traumatized, right? Because this little boy was like 9 years old or something. This little boy also talked about how his friend was so afraid the friend ran off and left him alone, but not before wetting his pants. This little boy also needed to get some help. This little boy also talked about how he had nightmares after the fact, and it was so traumatic for him and his mom that they packed up and moved in the middle of the night, right? Like through the day, overnight, and then the house was burned down. Like the same in one day when all these events are taking place, she's moving out and she's on the run and she leaves Flint, right? But not before um, having to give up everything and not before a child being traumatized. And she had been expressing concerns for her safety. She also stated the fact that him and her ended up on a sour note because one, she refused his sexual advances. Okay, she was working for him. And when she told him no, when she refused him, because it's been alleged, we've heard, he's sleeping with a multitude of these women that he's dealing with. Okay, it's even been alleged that he may be sleeping with, I'm going to say it because I can't stand her and she's always pushing propaganda against everybody and she hurts this community so badly. And I usually don't get into this, but this is part of this man's makeup as to how he manipulates these, because we got to realize it's a man shortage amongst our Black community. And we as Black women, we don't always have that male representation around us. So sometimes that makes for us to be easy prey. So this man, in my opinion, right, allegedly, Miss Nakia, one, refused his sexual advances. Two, he wanted her to forge documents. And she states all this in this interview is why I'm speaking on it. Two, she refused to forge documents. Okay. And this is when he begins to show up at her place where she pays rent, unannounced, no knock, just coming up in there like he Big Daddy Wang Wang after she's paid her rent with his hard on thinking he's supposed to get down. I'm gonna just be honest. Because when you're a woman and you live single, I ain't gonna be tender with it. Because you need to understand how it feel when you're paying your rent. It's a man standing up in your house when you get out the shower with his gray sweatpants poked out in the front. And you telling him you're not interested. And that results in your water being turned off, even though you paid your bill and your water is included in your rent, and he is your landlord, and he's hooked up and been dodging uh, accountability, right, and responsibility. Okay, so this lady begins to start making complaints because he's entering her home illegally, because he's trying to put that nasty wang wang on her that she don't want. And he think he's such a gift with his low life itself. To who is she to refuse him? He'll whoop that A, come in her house, traumatize her kids, burn that MF down and put her out illegally. And when they go to court, I had a judge back him. And that's exactly what happened to her. And she's gone to everybody. And this woman's child is traumatized. And she had to leave town on a wing out the blue with no pre-plan, no pre-savings. These women often don't have a great support system. This is why they end up working with trash like him that's pretending like he's rehabilitating when he praying on people. We know that several women were taken out of his facilities, these transition houses that are really hoe houses, because he's sleeping with all the women and making them do favors. That's hoeing. When I got to sleep with you and work for you to have peace in my life. That means you pimping me or grooming me or tormenting me in some area because I don't like you because you a midget and you're not that smart and you ain't appealing. But since I'm on parole at your transition house, and I'm trying to get my life together, and I ain't doing no drugs and I ain't doing no drinking because I'm getting flocked by my PO officer. I got to drop. Now I'm clean, my temple is clean, and I'm praying, and I'm trying to get right now. I enrolled in school, and I'm working out at the gym, and here this little filthy demon Okay, he a demon, pretending like he a Muslim. He ain't selling dope. Muslims don't sell dope to their community. So if you got a Muslim selling dope in your community, you're being hustled. Okay? Real Muslims don't have a filthy temple, nor do they pollute their community. Okay? Let's be clear. And I've never been a Muslim, but I know somebody fine Muslims who would never. Okay?
So I
So
do want
with
to
all
say,
that going on,
well,
all that's just the surface. That's the beginning of where we
hold
picked up
on.
at, because this man is a career criminal. This is the beginning.
So I do want to say that these are the views, are not the views of the Tanya Burns Show or the host. They are the views of Carol McIntosh. She has very strong views. She ran for the first ward, and she is the rightful winner because he did not even have the criteria to meet to be there. So one of my concerns. So you met with the young man. So if he traumatizes other children, and this little boy was traumatized to where the friend urinated, he had a Draco, he didn't stop drilling. So and I'm, we look, everyone saw the video, and then there's the 911 call that the attorney has now. So what kind of parent would do that? You have a parent, and say you're a landlord, you come in and you see, oh, there's, he knew that they were living there, and you continue to drill the locks out, and you see these kids traumatized, and you hear the boys on the 911 tape. What kind of person would do that? I mean,
Well, wait. What about the fact that the little boy said, "I'm going to call my grandmother," and he told him, "No, put the phone down"? Do you remember that in the recording? So he's stopping this little boy from getting help. This is a terrorist attack on a child. This is exactly what it is. He's terrorized these kids. And I believe that the whole sole purpose of him getting custody of his own child is to terrorize his son's mother because she knows he's a nut. So now he's holding his own son hostage to terrorize this woman because he wants to kick ass and whoop on head. And then when you get done, bend it over and back it up because I'm Big Daddy and I'm going to go down. And when I finish stomping on that ASS, because this is the kind of life this one. See, you people want you to talk tender and say it nice. But see, when she getting her tail kicked, it ain't nice. When she telling him she don't want to give it up, and he telling her she don't want to do what she got to do, she can get her SHIT and get out. It ain't nice. Being homeless is not nice. See, folks want you to talk nice about him because he got a bunch of people in high places doing low lifey shit for him.
well, that,
Okay?
that happened to Nakia.
Yeah, it ain't nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Because see, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people and these men prey on certain type of women. Because
Yeah.
the truth of the matter, if I was renting one of his house and he drill my lock out and I'm in the shower, I'm gonna bust one in his ASS. That's what I would do if it was me and my landlord was pushing up on me and trying to sexually advance me. I'm finna set you up to be stretched out because that's what he sets these women up for. You're gonna do what I say, or I'm gonna kick that A. And let's be clear, women are dying every day at the hands of men. Okay,
So
we got a president that's grooming people. So you think he won't? I mean, look where we are, people.
So, can you play the video of ABC 12, producer Jay? Can you put that up? So, he did an interview with ABC 12. He put out lies with literature stating you were the cause. He's a liar. He lied and stated that you were the cause of the Flint School Board getting sued. Uh,
And he
and
also, I'll tell you, Ann, and he also said that he was in a closed meeting. When you're in a closed meeting, that means nobody has privy to that meeting, but the people on the board, the attorneys. When you're in a school board meeting, in a closed meeting, the board has the right to put the superintendent out. We have put the superintendent out of a closed meeting because we don't want him to hear what goes on because we're getting information from our attorney and he's an employee. Okay. So if we can put the superintendent out of a closed meeting, explain to me how a criminal like Elamine, who has never been on the school board, has privy to a closed meeting. First part of the lie. He's in a closed meeting and he heard with his own ears me threaten Laura McIntyre, who sits on his Maid Institute board. He heard me threaten her, which is also the lady who got Danielle Green ultimately put off the school board with those old old chumped up situation that went on because they needed me and Danielle out the way so they can steal all the money from the school board because me and Danielle was really trying to work for the district and get new or renovated schools. And if we
Well,
did
I don't
that,
want to
then
deviate off of the school book. That's the whole thing.
yeah,
Because
well, that's the lie. This is the
yeah.
lie he told that he was in the school board
So what
meeting and
was
he was
on that
privy.
card that he sent out? Because I don't have the card. He sent out the mailer, and the
Oh,
mailer.
and yeah. He puts out the mailer that because of my mouth and what I did, it costed the district $600,000. This was in the middle of an election, in the middle of the election, which was a complete lie. In order for the case to even be settled, they had to drop me from the suit because I wasn't giving up a dollar because I knew that we had did nothing to her. And this was nothing but a money grab. But when the school district illegally, because the board never voted to even
Video
settle
ready.
that, which I FOIA'd those documents, and the superintendent has tried to tell me that there's no such thing, and this was a arbitration agreement.
Okay, well, we're gonna
Hell
play the video.
no.
He's got the video ready now.
Okay, yeah, play your video.
The city of Flint's current first ward councilman is facing some scrutiny over a video that has surfaced on social media. The video shows Leon El Alamin holding a gun at the front door of his rental home.
El Alamin said that the evicted tenant illegally changed the door locks and set up security cameras during the eviction. Our Lisa Irwin spoke with El Alamin about the video and what he has to say as he continues to campaign for a seat on Flint City Council.
Leon El Alamin was appointed to Flint City Council in March of this year. He says the video that is now circulating on social media was captured in 2022.
I had to take a previous tenant to court to evict them. They was refusing to leave the home. They had no lease. They were living in the house illegally. I went through the court process. I won in court properly twice. After you win in court, they give you like a set amount of days. A person has to officially be out of there.
El Alamin said the day the video was captured, he and his maintenance man were going to clean the home. The tenants were supposed to be already moved out. But El Alamin said because of the previous climate with the eviction and issues he had to take to court, he wanted to be prepared as the police had been called numerous times because of landlord-tenant issues.
Rolled by and seeing the boyfriend of this individual in a hoodie going into the house with something in his pocket, like a gun. I alerted my maintenance guy and said, hey, I just seen a guy with a hoodie going up to the house. I'm gonna go get my registered pistol. You might want to carry yours.
El Alamin had previously had his felony charges expunged, meaning he can legally possess a firearm, even showing us the court orders and his license to carry, claiming everything was done by the books. He explained the video was brought up at a city council meeting when he was first appointed.
And I addressed it then. They have investigated me, they did it, and I welcomed it. I'm not hiding anything. I would not put myself in this position if I couldn't be in this position.
El Alamin said he will continue to help others receive a second chance as he continues to live his.
I'm not here to try to harm no one, but I don't want to be harmed either. And I'm tired of just my name being slandered, bashed, all this nonsense.
Carol McIntosh is challenging El Alamin for the first ward seat in November 5th's election. Here in Flint, I'm Alyssa Irwin with ABC 12 News.
So here's the thing. That gun, the Draco, is now in the possession of the authorities. You hear him say there, my registered gun. That gun was not registered. It was removed by Mount Morris Police Department. Mount Morris Police Department removed the Draco gun that he used in that when he drilled out the locks. It's in their possession. They're running ballistics on that gun. So it is now in that authority. There's video of the gun, him going in there. He should have been prosecuted for going in there with those kids with the guns. But our system continues to fail our children. There's no way him going in there because when you're being evicted, the sheriff evicts you. You don't do your own evictions. The sheriff evicts you when it's a legal eviction and they post it on the home. There's legal paperwork. He did not, he did his own eviction. That's against the law. It's
Well,
against
not
the law.
well, not just that. On top of that, even if you are doing an eviction, when the sheriff shows up, the sheriff got paperwork. You never saw him with paperwork in hand. Neither one of them had. One had a drill, and the other one had a pistol. They never intended to operate in a legal manner. That was clear because if you are, you know, the first step to that eviction is to knock on the door and have your paperwork ready in case somebody is in there. And on top of that, when he went to court, okay, let me say this, Tanya. I got in a car accident and I had my weapon on me. They rushed me to Hurley. I ended up in the emergency room. I had to turn my weapon over to them. They checked my weapon and I'm in emergency. I'm a victim. I ain't even trying to, make no moves. And they ran a check on my weapon. When he came in there on the key awake son with that weapon, even if he was doing a legal eviction, wasn't they supposed to check his weapon? You done drew down on some kids. Shouldn't they have made sure, A, that his license was intact, and B, that his weapon was legal? So they bypassed all. See, so my point is this. This man he's got the secret to all the loopholes. And how come he has not been charged with that gun yet? It don't matter what's on the gun. It's not legally registered to him. Therefore, you are in possession of an illegal firearm. How come he hasn't been charged with that? Yeah, I'll tell
Well,
you why. Because that'll be an instant charge for him, and he'd have to step down because that would instantly make him a felon.
so
So they
him
brought
having that, now remember what that was at the Mount Morris Township. He's trying to state that he lives at the Flint address on mine. But here's the thing, the records are being subpoenaed. Her records of being having to comply are being subpoenaed and FOIA'd. It's just a matter of time. He needs to save himself some grace. He put on there, he literally put on there the paperwork and answer number 11 that he lives in a house with his son with a registered sex offender. That was his response to her response. The mom stated, I am concerned and troubled because there is a registered sex offender living at the house where he is claiming he lives. Leon states, yes, that is true. Deal breaker. I mean, I don't. I'm gonna Judge Weir
and he still got
thread number
custody of
11
his child.
and then traumatize them other two kids. Who can traumatize kids with deadly assault weapons, then put his child and on paperwork? He put that on paper that his child and him were living in a house about 800 square feet with a registered sex offender. He did that. He can blame nobody but himself and him being incompetent. Nobody but himself for that.
But wait, let
So
me say this too. Let me say this too, Tanya. And this is the same court system that wanted to arrest Eric Mays for pawning an outdated laptop that the city was not even using anymore. They made a big deal, Channel 12, Channel 5, Channel 56, Channel 500, XM radio, all around the world about this laptop. Here this man whooping women. They got to suck and everything else to get along with him. Okay. He taking kids hostage because he literally holding his own child hostage. His son is caught in the middle of a hostile situation between two parents. Okay. What type of responsible parent would put their child? And if you ain't got no safe place to stay, like I said, because the other alternative to him not living in Mount Morris is he living up in the dope spot that he was flopped and sent to prison from. So now your son is up in there with you. You got your son at the dope spot or the sex offender spot. Which one of them great child friendly?
well, the records were pulled, and that house had been raided over the past 15 years or 20 years numerous times.
Um,
So
mhm,
the house
mhm.
was raided. That's not a safe space nor place for the child. and that's where he's tethered. And technically, that house is, I got to see what the drop off line. It's either the 6th ward or the 2nd ward, but it's not the 1st ward.
And let me say this, and let me also say this, and to go along with all that, and it's been 15 times or been raided all these times, and the city of Flint didn't know that, and they've given him custody of a child. And then on top of that, this is a man who got his son possibly in the dope spot. He done went to prison from the dope spot because the dope spot was his at the time, and probably. And then on top of that, now he on probation from there. And then on top of that, he done throwed his baby mama out of the other address where her and her son could be living comfortably, because he say he don't stay there. But instead of him doing that, putting his child's safety first, you gonna come over here and stay at the dope spot with me over here with this sex offender. Might have to give up a little something, but you don't need to be with your mama. And that's the guy who's recommending that he drop other city council people. Where are we gonna drop him? Because I heard his idea of a romantic date is to roll a blunt and lay next to you. That's what we heard, allegedly. So
Well,
are
they
they gonna
put
drop
those
him?
text messages out there. They were out there. I mean,
So is they
they,
gonna
they
drop? Is they gonna
I
the
mean,
romantic blunt boy?
oh God, they need
He in the
okay.
mood for look. He
That
in the
is.
mood for love. He gonna bring you a blunt, girl. And then to go along with that, it stated that one of these women
Hold on,
has
Carol. Producer
okay.
Jay. Producer Jay. Okay, thank. So I guess this is part of the date of it being okay. And don't get me wrong, but if women require your men to do more than roll the blunt, and that's,
Girl, I'm gonna bring you a blunt.
I
Let me
mean,
say this to you women. With this dispensary on every corner, if you taking a blunt for a date, do you and I'm gonna give you, do you know if you a first time shopper, they give you free weed? Please don't let nobody lay you down for no blunt, boo. Please don't let nobody tell you how much they love you when they gonna come over to your house and they gonna bring a blunt. Please don't let them tell you that that's a date.
well,
If
listen,
that's your idea of a date, work on your self-esteem, girl.
that part.
Okay?
I do want to say I see Pastor Jannard Lakes of Spirit of Victory Churches in the comments. He said hello.
I'm just kidding, Pastor. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Pastor. I'm just trying to help him out. But yeah, hey, Pastor Lex. I visited his church last week. It was marvelous, might I add. And yes, and I'm gonna say this too. And yes, Pastor Lex does counsel me and get me straight when I'm not right. So I might be hearing about some of this. But until then, I just want to say to the ladies out there, please require more from these men than
Yeah,
that. Okay, you
absolutely.
worth more than that, honey. And that's just even that. And if that is what you're into, that's just for you to sit down and have a conversation with him, and I'll holler at you next time. That ain't no laying and smoking no blunt. You're sitting up when you're smoking a blunt.
Wait a minute, Carl in there. Hey, Carl, he's in there. Oh Lord. So listen, we're gonna play this video. So producer Jay, play the video, please. Like I'm gonna have to let you and Carl and Carol do a show. I'm just gonna have to. I'll fall back.
It was a woman who said that she had been assaulted by her longtime live-in boyfriend. She was punched in the face. She had a mark across her neck. She had been choked, and she said she had been dragged out of the room by her hair.
I'm paying bills for your stinking ass, bitch. The fuck on. Don't keep saying that before you get your mouth blew out. Before you get your mouth blew out.
I recall that he did punch her multiple times in the face. That's when I also seen lacerations across her nose, bump on her face.
Hey, how you want to take it, bitch? You better keep moving now. You better keep moving now, ho. Keep moving now, ho. You're gonna become something else now. Yeah. You wouldn't be here, bitch.
Oh, really?
Now, that's what it is. That's what the fuck it is. I'm messing with that shit. Get the fuck on. I'm not fucking with you. Leave me the fuck alone.
Because that's your character.
Character matters.
I am dedicated to serving the residents, and I will continue to do so while defending my name.
Were you there to see the bruises? Were you there to see the hair on the floor? Were you there to see the hair pulled from her head? For you allow him to still sit on the seat of the councilman is a disgrace. Y'all heard the recordings, y'all seen the text, y'all seen him in action with the gun, y'all heard the lies of him. I want to say my heart goes out to the young lady who got killed in domestic violence. That could have been my daughter. That could have been my baby. At the hands of Wayne Leon Wilson. Council, wake up. Wake up. Y'all seen him when he came down for the Muslim lady. Y'all heard the recording. Y'all seen the video of him with the Draco. And that demon from hell right there, he's not even Nino Brown. Wayne Leon Wilson.
I want to say thank you to Xavier with 8110. So if you guys could go over there, click like, share. He's on YouTube and Facebook. He's a USC graduate. He has really been in the fight to support victims of domestic violence, especially Kiki. I had no idea he was putting that together because we have to bring about fairness, and he did a good job putting it together. We should not approve of this behavior, but he needs to resign, get himself together, whatever fix it looks like, because Kiki is broken. You know, she is not a victim anymore, but she is a survivor. But he is steadily putting weight on her, steadily. The officer who said she was punched repeatedly and saw laceration, that is a Mount Morris Township police officer. So to each and every one of you who said he was innocent, to each and every one of you who said and believed when he said she was lying, shame on y'all, because you don't even have the courage to support him in his wrongness, his deep wrongness. That was in court while he was under oath, when he taken the oath in the judge's court. The officer corroborated her story, and they had been sequestered to different areas. He told about she was shaking so hard she couldn't even fill out the victim's report, that several officers had to help her. So when I see the delusional people, and especially to the women who support him, the women, the dizzy women who support him, it is something wrong with y'all. And to the women who trying to say he was her meal ticket, Kiki support him. Behind every strong or every successful man is a strong woman. And if it's a black man, it's a strong black woman. And so we need to understand, hold on, Carol, we need to understand that when you are making the conscious choice to make and say he's her meal ticket, she kept his home. She kept him level. Every night he went home. Yes, it was hurtful. Yes, it was so much she went through. But to support him in this, he needs to remove himself, shut his mouth, fall on his knees, repent. Because right now, I don't think he must. I'm quite sure he at the pork barbecue place and got bacon bits on his salad. You can't trust what he say because he be lying. This girl's life has been turned upside down. And then when him saying, I want my child, he's using the child as a pawn. And we show when he used those children, he went in there. He didn't care about the kids, those two children that were there. He pulled out a Draco gun on them. Stop accepting this abnormal behavior as if it's normal. It's not normal to drill somebody's locks out and two children are in and they urinate on themselves. It's not normal to say, I live in one place and I live in, but on number 11 on the court papers that he filled out, that he said, yes, the children are, my son is living in a house with a sex offender, but I'm going to keep them apart. It's not normal. Stop accepting and making bad behavior and bad decisions normal. And yes, the house was where it was raided before. It was raided before. And so we got to look at it. Matter of fact, it was raided back in the day. I think Chief Green was working narcotics back then. And some of the Flint officers were. And then it's about whoever retired. Some of the retirees called me. And they're like, Tonya, how is he on there? Do y'all know what he has done? Do you know what kind of person he is?
That's why they got him.
And then so when we have him making decisions as an imposter of the first ward, he shouldn't be there. You're telling and teaching our children that it's okay to still hit on a woman. The police officer stated that there were lacerations. And he didn't play the full one. He also said that there was blood too. And so, as much as he don't want people to probably talk about his character, as he stated in the video, he said, "My character, yeah, well, we trying to find it. We got how much further we got to dig deep, okay? We done went 6 feet deep. We're gonna have to go further. You know, how much further do we have? He showed us who he is, as Dr. Maya Angelou said. When they show you who they are, believe them.
The
Stop
first
accepting
time.
that this is normal behavior. That gun, he told the lie in ABC 12 that it was registered, as now with the ballistic, the Mount Morris police took that gun from the house because it was not registered. We know he liked the lie because he said I was a cocaine and a known alcoholic and a
No.
cocaine abuser. Known. So that means I'm some
Everybody
DUIs,
know.
OUIs, some public intoxication. I'd have been pulled over. You'll find none of that on me. I couldn't have passed the drug test. See, that's what they try to. They try to go after your character when he likes character. Him and Liddell and Candace. I'm not gonna stand for it. I'm not gonna do it. But this guy is a monster, in my opinion. Because what kind of individual does this to children? He made 2 of them urinate. He put on a paper on number 11 with the friend of the court papers and the court papers that are turned in to Judge Don Weir that he's living with a sex offender, but he's going to keep them apart. He's going to keep them apart. I've listened to Kiki cry. She has kept her silence. She's kept her silence by trying to keep it together. She needs people to support her. But women going to say, he's her meal ticket. I was hot. That's at a point where you just say, you know what, Lord, let me not intervene in this conversation because it's nonsensical that another mother who really don't know. This is the stuff we're able to say. Imagine the stuff we cannot say. And I'm telling you, imagine the stuff that cannot be said.
And it's a lot not being said. Much as me and Councilwoman Burns both talk, it's a lot that both of us are not saying.
And who wants to trade the place with an abuser? Because you're going to be next. You're going to be the next one when he rages. Because that's what they do. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. You're going to be next.
Yes.
You know, Kiki said he had a habit of when he came in the house, if he hadn't smoked a blunt, and this is what Kiki was saying to me, that, or you could say alleged, but she told me, because my attorneys are watching, that if he didn't smoke, it calmed him down. And that's fine. It's a natural thing, but don't try to tell me what, and it's legal. And then you want to tell me, I don't have parents on crack. I don't have parents on crack cocaine. I ain't never sold them no crack, no cocaine. I've never done that. I've never sold drugs in the street. I've never been a dealer. I ain't been to prison. And if somebody gave me a clean slate second chance, then I turn around and abuse what God granted me to be a better person, and then turn around and reoffend and do things that are worse than what I did the first time, because now I'm damaging children. I didn't do none of that. I didn't do none of that. And drug addiction is a serious problem, and people need help. But what he's doing, something is, it don't connect. It don't connect. And he think he's smarter than everybody else. You know, I don't even, and everything that Kiki has went through and going through, because for like I'm saying the last year and a half, she really went through something. And she started to get courage and, you know, started preparing. And you have to prepare when you're leaving. You have to prepare. I didn't know her. Leon put it out there that I didn't know her before. Did not. She contacted me. I didn't put up the emails. See, he put up lies. I put up facts. I put those 2 emails up. I didn't know who they came from. They wasn't even her name. And I told me, you know, call me back, you know, if you need some help. And her mother did. I can tell that story backwards, upside down. And it's provable. It's in my emails. I put up the emails and showed you. But when you get people who lie, because I want to hear this woman explain, because the lady even said she don't live, you know, it's her and her dog at Mott Street. Why is he being able to sit in that seat. That's another felony. The man in the video
Well,
was removed.
well, let's be clear why he's being able to sit there. Because they so don't want me there. Because they know that if I would have sat in that seat, that would have given the community and the residents a fifth vote. And Shelton Neely and all those little thieves would not be ciphering off all the residents, taxpayers' funds, and they'd be doing what he's supposed to be doing because I wouldn't vote for him to get nothing until he blessed the people. See, you got, like I said, I'm gonna go just, my work has already been proven. When if I get a large sum of money um, under my voting, what I am going to do because I understand the need of the residents, and that's most important. Some people are coming for themselves. Most of the people that are sitting in those seats that are making decisions for you, they're voting for themselves, and they don't live in Flint. He's not the only one that does not live in Flint. He's just the boldest one that does
I
not live
would
in
give
Flint.
it to him. He is a bold. If nothing else, if you want to know how to be bold and move forward, even in your lies, because he lied on me, he is a bold person.
Oh, he lied on me
Bold.
too. Oh, this
He
is what I want to
sure
say.
lied on you
This is what I want to say about the ladies
because you
that are,
had a letter. You had a letter that was
yeah,
released.
all kind of. It's just a mess. This is what I wanted to say when you were making your point. I knew I was gonna forget because y'all know Miss Burns got that long wind. Anyway, as far as her being his meal ticket, you know, you got to be pretty pathetic as a woman to be sitting up talking about this woman is doing something because he was her meal ticket because they've been together off and on for like 10 years, okay? And this lady is leaving him with nothing,
12 years,
okay?
little over
12
12.
years. And she's leaving with goose egg, okay? So I don't know what you call a meal ticket. Sound like I said, sound like more like a predator and a groomer than me, okay? Because one thing we do know is he can't read and write. That's why she was conducting some of his business and had access to his email because he ain't that smart, okay? Now we do know she pretty intelligent. She may have been beaten down. She may have been broken at one time, but this broad is moving and shaking because when I say he's putting a ton of bricks on her back and he has the judicial system in full participation with him to break this woman down to the point where they done took her kids and put them under the roof of a sex offender. A sex predator can have her child before she can. Her son can live with somebody that's on the sex offenders list, a registered sex offender. Right now, today, her son can live with that woman, but he can't live with her. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You don't realize that the justice system, what is happening to Flint, Michigan, is what happens to black cities all over the United States. Black Wall Street, Rosewood, you name it. Every time it's our turn every time. And it is time for us to move forward. They send people that look like us when we are strong, who are not qualified, who are undeserving, who is desperate. Somebody straight from prison that can't read or write, that ain't never did nothing but crime, told a bunch of lies. I'm doing the work. What work? His street name is Pusher Man. The
He
house
does
his
like
mama
to
lived.
say he's doing the work.
Yeah, what work is he doing? Is it laying meat to these women that's trying to change their life? Is it traumatizing kids? Is it illegally evicting people? Is it stealing from the housing authority or commission over there? Is it stealing the ESSA dollars for your nonprofit that is not in compliance? What type of work do you do? Because you lied and said you weren't going to put Miss Bev out soon as you stole the vote with signatures that his girl, one of his women, that he got to forge, like he was trying to get Nakia Wake to do, forged his signatures to even get him on the ballot. So say he still did live in the first ward. He still done forged his signatures to get on the ballot.
Oh,
This
his
man is a
nominating
criminal.
ballots. Yeah, that's alleged that that those signatures were forged. Yeah.
He's working for Sheldon Neely, another person who can't read and write. And while all they crew, even the ones that can't read and write, is stupid, look at Liddell. Liddell, who don't like Pastor Thompson. I'm going to speak on that. She can't stand him. She won't vote for him to get a crumb. And I think she don't like him because she want him. Okay, that's why she cozied up to Leon, because that community meat he passing around here. And these are some thirsty women in our community. We got a decent man shortage. And we got a lot of women that any man will do for. Even some old women.
Right.
You will
So
be
maybe we need
surprised.
to say now, look, if it's any available decent men, y'all need to drop your names in the chat because the
So we
women,
can get some of these
right, the women need to know
thirsty.
where to find y'all at. The women need to know where to find the decent men at. Maybe we need to do a decent man show because you ain't.
Child. Child. Maybe we need to do a where's the men that don't think rolling a blunt and laying with you is a date? Where them guys at? Okay, this a councilman, and he thinks rolling a blunt and laying with you is romantic.
Sexy. That's sexy.
But he's stealing millions from your city. God forbid he take you to a movie out to dinner. I bet he ain't doing none of that anyway. But so these women that are back to that, these women that are talking about he was her meal ticket, she was with him for 12 years and she got his child. So if you think him being a man, which he ain't, that's why he always beating on women, ain't no men turned up talking about he whooped on their ass. Okay? But you got a lot of traumatized women talking about how he done them, though. We know he was taking pictures of Councilwoman Burns' house, though, before she was even a councilwoman. We know he prey on women. He cut down all my sign and did me all kind of dirty, lied on me, which he thought he was doing me in. No, you did yourself in, boo-boo, because you about to break up into the jailhouse trying to be something you're not, and that's qualified. You got to learn how to read so you can stay out of jail because you about to break up into the jail because you breaking a bunch of federal laws. Okay? And we're not going to let you're not going to rob this first ward and we don't say nothing about it. We coming for you. And in my opinion, the only reason this type of behavior is being allowed is because they're trying to bankrupt the city so that we can get taken over by another entity so the blacks can no longer control their community. Okay? Because Sheldon Neely is well aware that he's going to get his ass sued off. But he doesn't live in Flint, so he does not care. This man is setting us up so he can break the city. We will be broke once all these lawsuits hit, okay?
So, Producer Jay, can you play? Because I want people to hear from the prosecutor. And it's very rare that you hear Prosecutor David Layton. He came out and spoke on this. And we have to look at Leon has had a history. And some of the women, like with Nakia Wakes, her voice went unheard. So, can we play the next video, the full video of what the charges were? Because we need to be aware. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The color is purple. We need to understand that it's serious. We had about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, Princess Williams died at the hands of her abuser. He shot her. She worked locally at the Roadhouse. She was killed. She left behind a 2-month-old child and 2 other children. And he held her hostage. He had been beaten on her. The day before, her family stated she had called the police. Police never showed up. The next day, he killed her.
Show up. See what I mean? Show up for what? Just another woman.
So we
Somebody
also
over here beating on me.
Yeah, we also had another one, which we had talked about. I believe her name is Shawnee's. She was with Tony, and he had gotten out of prison. Was changing his life. Got got the clean slate. He ended up choking her with a belt around her neck, and he choked her with the belt around her neck, chopped her body up and left her, put her in a garbage bag, placed her in the bathtub of Kings Lane Apartments, and then was killed what they call by suicide by cop, was with another woman. And I want people to know this is how he had killed his wife, killed her. And people worried about meal tickets, killed her. Then went to be with the side chick, went down towards Detroit area with the side chick. Michigan State Police were able to track him. And when they stopped him, he put the gun to her head. to the side chick's head. The one who thought she was going to be the one that said when he leave her, he was going to be with her. He put the gun to her head. Michigan State Police killed him.
Smoke that fool.
He got killed. And so when we talk about, people think, for the mother to get on there to say that was disgraceful. It was disgraceful. And I'm telling you what happens. And this was 2 years ago with Tony. And Tony was real popular. They would call him Tree because he was 6'7". He was really tall, really popular. Tony Roy. He killed his wife, choked her with a belt, chopped her body up, put her in the bathtub, went with the side chick who said he was going to be with her, went with her, and then put the gun to her head and was going to kill her, but police killed him first. So you better know what you're talking about. Domestic violence is real. When you think you want to be in the place, and if this is just the part you're hearing, imagine what everybody don't know about.
Right.
They haven't had their court case yet.
And I want to say this.
Hold on. I do want to say thank you to attorney Toy Williams, who is with the Lintel Law. She is a great attorney. She has a great track record. She is representing. We needed a pro bono attorney, some help, and they stepped up for her. Attorney Williams is a young, Black, educated woman, and she is about her business, and she is representing. You can't just go into court and not have anybody. And so I don't y'all come on my page talking about Lintel Law. Lintel Law won that case also. They don't win. Don't nobody win in Genesee County. Very rare.
No.
I did win in Genesee County, but it's very rare that you do. They've won 3 cases, and they won the one with the multi-member body with me and Councilman Mays. We won that one with Lintel Law. We won that one. And I want to say thank you to Lintel Law for providing her an attorney Williams, who has stepped up. That is her attorney. And she also has another one, attorney Katz. So she's got 2 attorneys. So I want to say thank you to them because they're like, oh, this is just crazy, And so she needed representation to know which way to go when somebody taking your child from you,
Right.
So don't come on Tonya Burns' page. I'm just saying, because we needed help. He filled in the gap for Kiki. And I know 3 cases. But you don't win. If you win in Flint, you get surprised in Genesee County. You're like, what? You won? I was surprised I won mine. I'm gonna be honest.
Me too.
I was nervous. Okay. So, but we're gonna play this next video.
Fire away.
Okay. Prosecutor Layton, talk to me a little bit about the charges issued against First Ward Councilman Leon L. Alameen.
So the Mount Morris Township Police received a call and were dispatched to an address. And when they got there, there was a woman who said that she had been assaulted by her longtime live-in boyfriend. And she had lacerations on her face and bruising, consistent with her claim that she was punched in the face. She had a mark across her neck, consistent with her statement that she had been choked, and she said she had been dragged out of the room by her hair. Her statement to the police was that Mr. L. Alameen became angry because she was looking at her emails and he didn't like that. So the police went, took her statement, it was corroborated by the physical evidence, brought it to our office, and we determined that there was probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause that Mr. L. Alameen committed the crime.
There was an arrest warrant issued, and then Mount Morris Township Police ended up pulling him over. Was he pulled over because his license plate?
That all happened after our office was involved, so I don't really know the specifics about the arrest. I've only learned about that through the media.
How serious is this?
Domestic violence is an extremely serious crime, and I take a very harsh view of it. In my 20-plus years on the job, we've been very vigorous in our prosecution of men who beat up women. I don't like those kind of situations. In this case, the count for assault with intent to do great bodily harm, strangulation, is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison. It's alleged he did choke her. And so if that is sustained beyond a reasonable doubt in court, he could be sentenced to up to 10 years in prison. Count 2 is for domestic violence, which is an assault and battery upon your girlfriend, spouse, husband, whatever, and that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days.
You mentioned that your office has taken a hard stance on domestic violence. We've covered these cases. Does it matter if this is a public figure or not, or an elected official?
You know, I get asked that question a lot, and in this case I've been asked that a lot. And the answer is it doesn't matter who the suspect is, everybody's treated the same. We take the facts that are given to us by the police and we apply the law. And in this case it's resulted in a GBH count and a domestic violence count.
In the grand scheme of things, these charges, they're serious. I mean, it's a felony, it's a misdemeanor. I know that he has posted bonds. I know that your office does not determine, that's a judge's decision. Do you think that sometimes the bond's too low?
If I had a staff large enough that we could attend every arraignment, we would be able to take a position on bond with the judge, but we don't have that ability because, you know, we're short-staffed as it is. We struggle to cover all the courts and the trials and the hearings. We can't be at arraignments. There are times that bonds are too low, and there are times that, frankly, bonds are excessive. But it's up to the judge, and it's based on the court rules. And for the most part, judges do a very good job setting the appropriate bond.
For your office, what's next in this case?
So we're going to have a probable cause hearing, also called a preliminary examination, at which time we have to prove that there's reasonable belief the crime was committed, reasonable belief that Mr. El-Alamin committed the crime. That's what's known as probable cause. If the judge determines we've established that, the case is bound over to the circuit court for trial.
Tonight, what's your message to the community?
Well, I want women especially to know that they don't have to live under abuse situations. There's help out there. The prosecutor's office is one place, the sheriff's department, the YWCA is a great resource. They have a shelter to help women who are in dire straits. And the national hotline is out there. You can call it 24/7 and get some kind of relief if you're in a bad situation.
Is there anything else you want to add?
That's it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So I want to say thank you to our prosecutor for that, Prosecutor David Layton. I want to say this. So one of the things when he said the strangulation, we know that in court, Officer McCain corroborated her story and the physical marks that were left on her body because she's very fair-skinned. She's very fair-skinned. And he said you could see the marks around her neck, and she stated he had strangled her, and she gave her testimony under oath. Leon El-Alamin was never under oath at that day in court. He was not. What he want us to do, they want us to quit talking about it. They want us to quit talking about it. Also, we know that since then, he is on tether. We now know that his tether is not tied to the Mott Street address. It's in a whole nother ward in place. We also know that there's been 7 times where this should have been looked at that where he did not follow his terms of agreement for his personal protection order. He sent out her location to 4 different people as soon as he was let out and on tether. 4 different people. He sent it out to Tim. He sent it out to Tiara. He sent it out to Big Time, Mayor Sheldon Neely. And he sent it out to, oh God, who was his 4th person? There were 4 people. Then Liddell, he sent it out to Liddell. So, and it was like a short clip of a video recording. He sent out Kiki's location as soon as he got out. Same day, he sent it to Liddell Lewis, Councilwoman Liddell Lewis. He sent it out to Mayor Sheldon Neely. He sent it out to Tiara. He sent that, who works for the Maid Institute, and he sent it out to Tim, or Tip is what they call him, to be his eyes and ears. He sent it out. Then he showed up at the house. He sent people to the house Another time, a cousin and a brother to the house asking to retrieve his belongings from the house. They were on the porch. They asked to have things removed from the house. And she called 911, and I told her, do not let them in. She was afraid again. So then you're harassing her. You're sending people to harass her. You're on, you're doing this. Then he sent then he came another time with a U-Haul truck. He came with a U-Haul truck, met them there, and they had some more movers. He said a worker. You're not supposed to be around her. He came. So that's what, oh, that's 6 times. Then the 7th time, he was bold enough, and we know he bold. We got to give him bold. He was bold enough to place on social media harassing her, calling her the so-called victim. Calling her the so-called victim. So this guy does not care about court orders. 7 times I feel he violated the personal protection order. 7 times. He sent her location. Him and Liddell said, all right, we going there about 9. Liddell, what were you going? Liddell Lewis, what were you going to go there about 9 for? What are you going there for? So I just want to say, so when David Layton, Genesee County prosecutor, spoke of that, we got to make sure that it is not okay. Black women get killed by domestic violence. Our pleas, our violence, our hurts, our chokings, our beatings are not taken seriously. They're not
No.
taken seriously. The fact that I don't think nobody in that court read the fact that he was allowing a sex offender to be in the house with the child is unconscionable. I don't understand how that could have happened without reading it. The judge couldn't have read that. Judge couldn't have. So, Carol.
Is it my turn? So, but I just want to say this to the women that are speaking ill of this victim. I would say that those are probably women that are compromised, right? Or women whose abusers are sitting there watching them, right? So they got to put some on the internet. I think we suffer from our community. Our women have been so beat down. We have a lot of hurt women, a lot of women that are desperate for companionship. And unfortunately, sometimes any man will do. And I think that's a lot of these women's problems because the minute he goes in their mouth, like he was suggesting he was going to do to her, then they'll be calling you and everybody else, and we're supposed to stand up. Um, so I think that's really sad. And because these women are so slow too, they think that we're slow. Like we don't know that you have some type of intimate attachment to them or either a psychological block. Because why would you be supporting somebody who has such a sketchy past, present? See, this man has been caught more lies than a little bit. So what type of woman are you to pretend like you believe him? I mean, you don't believe that. You just going along with it because he's stroking you. And it's sad that we as a community, you know what I'm saying? Because we all would like a nice friend, companion. That's men and women. Everybody wants somebody that's nice to them, that puts them first. There is no way you can possibly think that this is a great guy with all that he has going on, right? And you see nothing from this victim. He has nothing on her that she's done to him. But she's wrong. You jealous of her. These women are jealous of her because these type of men sell them a dream. Just like because I don't want to tell stuff I'm not supposed to tell, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to go to the Pastor Thompson situation, back to Liddell Lewis. You vote against this man, you can't stand him, you ain't got nothing but ill things to say about him. But yet, a few days before his church burns down, who's at his church standing next to the guy on the video burning his church down? None other than President Liddell Lewis.
Well,
What a
Carol,
convoluted.
that was not at the church. That was some weeks before. So he
Okay,
was
well, I'm messing that up.
That's okay. I'm because we go. No, you fine. So
Straighten it out.
she was putting in smoke detectors with the alleged arsonist, and
Oh,
yeah, and so she took some photos. He stated he's people have talked to him because he's been around town. The ATF is investigating, and it is at now at the Department of Justice. Um,
oh,
and
good.
yeah, it is. And so the guy was at the church August 24th at the church. He came about 12:15, wanted to come talk to the pastor. The deacons told him, no, you cannot. We have church service going on. And you see them that they
Mm.
were talking in the hallway. But producer Jay, can you put up? I want to talk about your campaign because your campaign went through a lot of for someone who we now know he put on 9 PPOs that he lives in, Mount Morris Township. Your signs were cut out, paint, black paint was thrown on them, white paint was thrown on them. They used the saw to cut them out of the frame. I mean,
Mhm.
literally. The amount of
Mhm.
violence that they went through, the lies he stated he didn't have a Draco. We now know that the police have it. It was not registered. He lied. He sent out a postcard. But let's put up the 810 fact check because 810 Flint, and again, y'all go over to Xavier on 810 Flint. He has a wonderful platform. He does the work. He's a journalist, not just because he in a podcast journalist. He actually is a real graduate of USC.
Yeah,
A real journalist, and
right.
he has helped us keep a video library of things. And so he fact
There
checked.
it is.
Yep, look, there you go. You them signs.
That's his work. That's his hateful work.
And see, and your signs were all in frames.
Mm-hmm.
That
Paint
was
on
black
that.
paint, yeah. And then there's white paint that was thrown on your signs, both sides. Signs
Mm-hmm.
are expensive, by the way.
Now this is at somebody's business that he had the nerves to step his feet up on because we know you did this, and then we're gonna say allegedly, but I know you did it, and that's why you on your way to jail now. Hateful self.
And so
Don't even.
you had a lot of, I mean, it was a lot of time spent repairing, putting your sign, because your signs were framed. I think we got
Yeah,
one show where they sawed it out, producer Jay.
yeah. The one
Literally,
on the ground.
yep. And that one was at the corner of Holmes and DuPont. Um, and just the evilness. I mean, they attacked them signs like those signs were going to vote.
Yes. And you could tell, and you could just tell from the destruction that this is somebody that has an anger issue and who is mentally ill. That's why it was never any question in my mind who did it. I knew he did it. Okay. And then I had got some glow in the dark signs, and they were really lightweight, and they were expensive though, and they started coming up missing every time I put one down there missing. But like I said, this is his work. And he wanted that spot. He did all he could to get that spot. He lied, he cheated, he stole, he slandered me, and now his ass is on the way to jail. Okay? And no matter how it goes down, when he has to face the music, hey, no, I'm not. And don't listen here. You pastors on this feed, don't come talking about pray for him. I'm supposed to be no Christian. I'm telling you now. No, I'm not. Wasting no prayers on him. Okay, because the saints need these prayers. I'm praying for the saints and these children who are being prayed on. It is sad that this man is doing all these illegal things, committing all these crimes, and they are pretending like, well, he really hasn't broke any laws. We gotta check and see. Let us check the books. By him being a council person, we can't hold him responsible for his crime. Listen. The law is the law, and the law is the same every day because it's already pretty much pre-written. And when they write new stuff, they write it down. You don't have to guess about it. Okay, it's clear that if you are a sex offender, you cannot live in the house with a child. If you have been um, sent to jail from a known drug house, then it's probably not safe for you to raise a child in a environment that has been raided 15 and 20 times by the police. Okay, if your street name is Pusher Man, you probably should not have sole custody of a child. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know. And if
So
you don't live in the city, you should not be making
he shouldn't
decisions for the
have
city.
ran. He shouldn't have ran.
Instead, he put himself in the hot seat, but that's because he's so smart.
So producer J, 810 Flint, you can pull that one up. So they fact checked Leon on October, the end of October. So in the fact check, it says Leon Alameen claimed that Carol McIntosh's actions cost the Flint Community School Board $600,000 due to alleged bullying and threats against her other board members. This claim is false. Carol McIntosh was dismissed from the lawsuit filed by Anita Stewart without agreeing to any settlement. Official documents confirm that she did not receive or contribute to the $600,000 settlement between the district on Stewart, therefore claiming that the cost of district money is inaccurate and she was not financially responsible for any part of the settlement. The claim is misleading and unfounded. Carol McIntosh's dismissal from the case without settlement and lack of evidence for alleged misconduct make it clear that she was not responsible for the $600,000 cost to the district. See, because we deal in facts. So, Carol, I can't wait for you to win your lawsuit. I can't wait. I can't wait because it's at some point we have to take these liars, we have to take these abusers, these propaganda people. He does not. Let's leave that up. The one with 810 Flint, please. And so he breaks it down also into the claims. The claim, Carol McIntosh's mouth, this is what he stated.
Yes.
Carol McIntosh's mouth cost the Flint board $600,000. Carol McIntosh's bullying and threats against other school board members and employees cost the district up to $600,000. Yeah, so you got to name the main institute the McIntosh Institute because you are going to be suing him. Furthermore,
let me say this: I am going to sue him, but I don't want to own no whole houses.
well, you can sell them. So, it's false. Carol McIntosh was dismissed from the lawsuit filed by Anita Stewart without agreeing to pay any settlement. She did not receive or contribute to the $600,000 settlement between the Flint Community School Board and Anita Stewart. The dismissal indicates that McIntosh was not found liable or responsible, contradicting the false claims by Leon L. Alameen. And so we have to be very clear and intentional with what we are saying because it just was not true. Just wasn't true. And so the letter it states April 15, 2024, Plunkett and Cooney are the attorneys. This was for Danielle Green because I believe she was dismissed too, wasn't she?
Yep.
So the letter states, attached, please find the order we have finally received from the arbitrator discussing you as defendant in the case without prejudice. As you know, he had negotiated dismissal and plaintiff has made it clear that he does not believe that you will be returned to this litigation. The administration is coming in the next few weeks. As you know, plaintiff intends to subpoena you to testify. And so she was on there also. She was dismissed. And so you were dismissed before any of that. And so Leon is allowed to peddle lies in our community. He is a distraction on the Flint City Council. He has no business, in my opinion, being on the city council because he keeps stating he is tethered to a house. It's fifth or it's the second order, sixth ward. But I think it's that house is past Waba. And let me tell you, y'all remember that I went there on the scene. It was actually two people shot. It was glass. I did it with ABC 12. Same area. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not with all the drug activity, but we have had about 6 people fatally shot at that corner the past 6 years. Donaldson and Berkeley. Okay. And it's a drug problem. And they selling dope in the community. And I don't know if I don't think it's no coincidence. I don't believe that at all. And what I did not know was that was his house down the street. I did not know that. That's not in the first ward. It is not. And so, Carol, I'm gonna let you can have it.
Well, I just want to say that it is no coincidence that we are being systemically robbed, and that our judicial system and all the very important people can't seem to get a grasp on what's going on, and he's just slipping by, and oh no, it's not your fault, it's your fault, it's not your fault, it's your fault. Well, this person's supposed to did this, and that's not a coincidence. These people are breaking our community, they're stealing our community's wealth, and we're going to be left with nothing. I don't know if anybody saw this. It was in the Courier that the EPA is trying not to um, they're trying to reverse the lawsuit settlement for the water crisis. These people don't want us to have anything. And if we get anything, they take it from us. And they use people like Leon, plants in our community that look like us, but they work for other people. They don't work for this community. And in my opinion, the reason Mr. Elamine has been given so much latitude to get away with all of this is because he is one of those plants in the community. Plain and simple.
So I do want to say before we go on, asking to donate to, if you got the donate sign up, because I have not mentioned, I want to say thank you to Johnny G for the $49.99, was it orange or purple super chat, that he donated, because I do not take any funds from the show, but in order, thank you, to run shows like this so we can bring out the truth. I make sure that I support anything that is said with documents, so that it's not just hearsay. When it is my personal opinion, I will say it is in my opinion. So if you can please kindly donate to Cash App $producer J1987. If you can kindly do it, that goes directly to him for make sure that he can help run the show, software and other things that we do, making sure that we're keeping everyone updated. Because if you believe what they want you to believe, you won't get the truth. We do know that Kiki is rebuilding her life. She is a victim of domestic violence. We know that when she went to court in Judge Bailey's court, it is bound over to Judge Hannibal's court, that there was enough sufficient evidence. We know that Officer McCain stated that when he arrived there, she appeared that she had lacerations and marks on her neck and bruises on her face, and she had a laceration, I think he said, on her nose, that she was shaking so bad that she could not fill out her very own victim statement. We know that with number 11, that according to on the court papers, that Councilman Leon L. Alamine stated that he was staying at the home on Mott Street, and that he knows that yes, there is a registered sex offender there, but he was staying there, but he was going to make sure that he kept his son away from the sex offender. We also know that when moms are abusers, who are victims of domestic violence, that the fathers of those children use the children as pawns against the mothers. She needs help rebuilding her life. She has a GoFundMe. I don't have the GoFundMe. I don't have it here. But she needs help. She needs community support. We know that we have victims who have died of domestic violence. Princess Williams, about a month ago, she was killed by her abuser. He shot and killed her. The day before, she called and asked for help. Police never showed up. The next day, he killed her. She left behind a 2-month-old child and 2 other children. So we know that we have got to take domestic violence serious. Why? People end up dead. They end up dead. And I'm going to keep Kiki's, and you all are too. And for those of you who have been helping and making sure that Kiki's voice doesn't go mute or silent. And Xavier, Flynn, I appreciate the work that you have been doing, because you never ask it. You do it, and you do it with your talent. And so what can we do? Speak up at City Council. City Council, we have a meeting tomorrow starting at 4:30. Fill out your name in the box. Speak up against domestic violence. Speak up for women who can't speak for themselves. Speak for the women who are living in fear because their abuser has done so much to break them down. Speak up and let people know. Show up for court when there's court. Leon is sitting in the first ward seat, and there's so many reasons he should not be there, in my opinion. One, we know he don't live in the first ward. They have submitted the lease. He had a lease with the woman who's the sex offender, signed in 2023. He took office in 2024. He had not lived at that house ever. He has never lived at that office. There was a signed affidavit by Kiki that stated he always lived with her in the Mount Morris Township. We know that it's corroborated because the woman who was a sex offender on Mott Street they have done home visits. No one lives there but her and her dog. We know that he does not live in that home. Why is he able to make decisions? He's committed a crime. What he should do respectfully is resign, get his life together, get it back on track.
Miss Byrne.
Fall and repent. I know, Carol, you're going to come in with something. Go ahead.
But why is it that he's being allowed? You know, the rules are to disqualify people that don't qualify. Why is he being allowed to still participate? And everybody in the state of Michigan at this point that reads documents from him realizes that he is not supposed to be in that position. But let's be clear, to keep me out of that position, they'll do anything because they know once I get in that seat, the goodies for all these big people are over and the goodies are for you. Let's just be clear what it is here. And that's what it is.
Well, we know that they can no longer state Kiki was not a victim of domestic violence. The Mount Morris Township Police, in the house where they lived and resided together, she did a signed affidavit. David states she had been abused. The police have been called there numerous times throughout the years. There's recordings where you hear him saying, "I'm gonna blow your mouth out, Kiki." There's recordings where you hear the child, and those have not been put on here, where you hear the child stating, "Mama, why did he do that? Mama, are you okay? Mama, don't cry. Mama, don't cry." So
Mhm.
he hit her and did these things in front of the child. You can say allegedly, but I can play the video because they have them. They've been turned into her attorney. And
And I
so
want to say this. Let me say this to anybody who ever cared about their mother, okay? Or anybody who has ever loved a woman and watched somebody beat them down for no reason. Do you think that little boy respects him and appreciates what he has done? And the point in getting custody of a child is supposed to be you're doing what's best for the child's well being. To watch your mother be beat by your father on a regular basis. It's been alleged that this man has shot up his son's grandmother's house. And you think that he don't even care about his own child. You don't do stuff like that in front of your children. And when you respect your own children, you have a tendency to not want to do those things in front of other people's children either. That's what responsible adults and parents do. You know, you mind the kids, you watch your language. You know, you don't beat their mama in front of 'em. You don't want to upset the babies. But he don't have no problem with that. So that tells us where, and then, like you said, it's been stated. Well, anyway, long story short, we have a problem here. This man is, like I said, morally bankrupt. He's not acting in the best interest of the Flint residents, and that's because he doesn't live in Flint. And this man is being allowed to just commit all kind of crimes and law, break all kind of laws and commit all kind of crimes. And it doesn't take this long to set the record straight. It didn't take them this long in Saginaw, Lapeer, Detroit area. It doesn't take them that long anywhere else. But for some reason, the wheels of justice don't exist here in Flint. And I think that is what we're going to have to start addressing at elections. You know, so what, we know your name, you've been on the ballot for forever. We're not going to vote for you because you failed to hire a police chief that shows up for our community, right? When our community is the community. So how does that work? You know, I just think at some point, if we're going to hire people to do jobs, then they're going to have to do their jobs. And also, we got to keep in mind that Mr. Elamine has also placed somebody in my seat on the Ethics and Accountability Board. If he does not live in the city of Flint, he has no right to make an appointment. So now we have two fraudulent situations in regards to the first ward. So I don't think it's no coinky dink. I don't think it's no coinky dink that Mr. Mays passed. I just don't think any of this is um, coincidental. I think it's always, when it's time for us to win, it's always a technicality that ends up being the reason why we lose. And I think that's by design here in America. I think, like me and you said, RICO Act, bottom line.
Mhm. So, um, Hmm. So we know that several things can be true at once. You know, it's very real. What's even more disappointing is these women on the Flint City Council are supporting this. They
Well,
are supporting this. Oh my God.
well, when you're a thief, like you said, when you're a liar and a thief, and once you've lied and you've stole, whether you want to support it or not, you kind of got to go along with it because they kind of have you by the kahunas, you know. And I think that this is the position that that whole group of people are in, and I think because of that fact, the city, we as a city, we're in trouble. It's just plain and simple. Unless, and we have to continue to fight this crime. I want to say thank you to you for all that you do because you're definitely going over and beyond the call of duty as a council person. I also like to thank Kevin Tay, okay, because he spent a lot of time and a lot of energy, you know, keeping us abreast of what's going on. Beverly Biggs, who's got her car shot up. You know, myself, who's had my signs tore up, who's received death threats. We both have. People don't understand what this fight really looks like. Like somebody said, they see you at that board table and it looks all easy and all nicey, but they don't know when you're at home and you getting death threats, waking you up in the middle of the night. They don't know when you come out and get your tires cut or your car towed up all mysteriously all the time, or every time you do some good work for your people and get ready to lay it down, the people you're working with have been notified and now they've been threatening, they canceling. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. And until we stand up as a community, those things will not change. But thank you for having me. I'm going to have to get off of here. I just want to say it's always a pleasure to do your show. It's always a pleasure to share information with you because you come with the facts and you definitely keep me together, well connected in the community. We need that. And also, we have to speak out, like Miss Burns said. We can't allow anybody to be beating up on anybody and calling ourselves a civilized society. That's just not being realistic. And I don't care what position you hold. We can't have fraud at the federal level and the local level. Okay? That's just not going to work. So I'm done. With that being said, Miss Councilwoman Burns and I thank you for having me on your show.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, and people are glad they wanted you on. I don't think you. They were like, "Where's Carol? Have Carol come on." I'm like, y'all know Carol gonna be on here forever and ever, but I'm gonna invite her to come on because you have been speaking. You had a lot to say, and so having a platform where you can speak, you know, and how you feel is crucial. You ran a good race. You ran a legal race. You live where you live. You had, for lack of a better word, you had some haters lying where you did not live.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and it's the
All my
same
life.
haters remind me that, you know, people who didn't, you know, they voted for Donald Trump because they didn't like Kamala because she was black. You know,
Mhm.
but I want to say thank you for coming on because you ran a good race, and that race was yours.
Ah,
So, look, enjoy the rest of your evening. And producer Jay, she's gonna be dropping off. So, I brought her here, y'all. Now, Carl said he had wanted to come on, but we know, look, the Lions getting ready to come on. So, look, I want to say, can you look, if y'all can please kindly donate to producer Jay, which is in the pink. Um, trying to putting this together so that we understand. You know, Kiki needs people to speak up for her. She needs people to speak to that podium because there's no way he does not live, in my opinion, in that house. That lady has actually, you know, the police have been over there along with the sergeants. So they've corroborated the story that he does not live there. And she's been having to, which Arthur Woodson spoke about, he's going to mess her up. And because he's stating, you know, he stays there. You can't have two people on tether. You can't be tethered to the same house, and they're not. And people need to be outraged the fact that he's slipping this by. And you got some people will hustle your community because they getting a little bit of something. They will hustle your community because they done promised them some tree cutting. They will hustle your community. They done promised to get them a roof. They will hustle your community because they're going to promise to get you some money for some stuff that you need. Flint is an over hustled community, and we have to stop it. We got to start calling these people out. There are more good people than there are corrupt people, and we cannot afford to sit back to stay silent. We cannot. We cannot stay silent anymore. We have to talk about the things which are true, those things which are true. And everything that I stated, I put up with the fact. And I feel sorry for that lady who was a sex offender because she has complied for the last 2 years, well, since she's been in that home. And him stating he lives there and lie. He committed perjury in court. You can't lie on court documents. You can't. He lied and stated on court documents he lives in that house. First Ward should be mad as hell that they allowing an imposter who hits and beats on women to sit in that seat, and he don't even live in Flint. A registered sex offender and her dog lives there. And the dog, he don't live there. Y'all keeping somebody in office who don't even, or in a seat that has no damn business being there. None. So I want to thank you to each and every one of you who came on here, and to Producer Jay and to Pastor Thompson. Pastor Thompson has an event tomorrow at St. Mark's Church. They will be holding a benefit, a restoration service at 2111 Flushing Road, Mount Calvary Church, between Chevrolet and DuPont Street, asking that you come out to fellowship. It's going to be tomorrow, Monday, October the 13th at 6:30 p.m., 2111. We got, look, my favorite people are up in there. We got Hasselbrink, that's where they reside. We got Bishop Larry Trotter going to be there, and he's going to be there, along with the Albert Strickland and Chosen Choir. And y'all, look, I was enjoying myself at the last time Bishop Trotter was here. That Dink Sosa said I was dancing like I was in the club. I'm like, no, look, if I can dance in the club, I can dance for the Lord, okay? And give him all the praise. So they will be having dinner afterwards, asking that people to come and come as you are. Come as you are. Come as you are. Asking that you be there so that we can unify this community, so that to show that we are inclusive of everyone that resides here. And if you just want to come fellowship with, come on, fellowship with us. We want y'all to be with us because we want to be with you. We want to show that Flint is a greater place. But when people cast doubt on us and make opinions, we want the good people to start speaking out. We want the goodness of Flint to be known, other than the treachery, the lies, the divisiveness, and the deceit. We want the goodness of the Lord to shine on Flint and the people. So, Producer Jay, anything do you have producer's notes? Because usually you get in trouble with this one. Because I don't be knowing what it be. Carol had something she had to do, but then she's like, no, I need to do this. So I want to tell you thank you. And I want to tell you thank you to Sheena Beckton. I did not see Patrick Jean in here, but thank you to Sheena Beckton for moderating and making sure that we stay on track. And I appreciate each and every one of you for where you are from. And if I did not call your name, charge it to my mind and not my heart, because I appreciate each and every one of you on this Sunday afternoon who decided to spend your time with the Tonya Burns Show. And look, who in there for them Lions? They drop the Lions in there. Drop the Lions name in the chat. Because they started 8:20. And if you don't know, you know now. You know now. So I want to look, are they putting a California level? We know Marcia, she actually came to Flint, all the way to Flint. Roscoe said, love Albert Strickland and Chosen. Look forward to hearing from them. I love their choir. Oh my God. And they put like a little spin on some of the old ones. They sung, Jesus will work it out. Jesus will work it out. Then she stepped down off that thing, she was up there in a little choir thing, and then she had that microphone and started saying, I prayed and I prayed. I was like, girl. So listen, them old songs, I'm like, they hit different when you get older. They hit different. So I'm looking forward to them. And if they play Work It Out, I'm gonna have to bring my tennis shoes just in case, because I may have to, do my little. But anyways, I appreciate. Thank you to everyone who, y'all please do me a favor before you leave. Just hit the like button so we can shoot this out into the algorithm. I do not want to normalize violent behavior, and definitely not against women and children. So I'm asking that you, the very least, if you can't donate, hit the like button. Hit the like button so we can push it out. Asking you to do that. Hit the like button. I don't even know how many people we have watching. Producer Jay, how many have we had watching? Our peak. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Go Lions. And I don't know no other team. And I hope Keith Down ain't on here talking about that team from Texas. I ain't gonna even say their name. But anyway, and my sister and my brother-in-law are here. They live in Washington, D.C. or Maryland, but they love the Dallas Cowboys. Only thing they have is a nice stadium. They got a bad stadium. I'm gonna give you that. But anyways, I'm gonna say thank you to each and every one of you spending your time with me and producer Jay. If I did not mention your name, charge to my mind and not my heart. Sending you love for the weekend, and we out of here. See y'all.
It's the Tonya Bird Show, don't you know? Like and share, let's make it glow. Flint City News, we bring the heat. When we fight, we beat defeat. I won't give up.